So what an amazing event from behind the Mastermind on Wednesday. Thanks everyone who tuned in. Grateful for all the presenters, number one. They're my friends, they're my peers. They've helped me with my business. Hopefully I've helped them a little bit too, but grateful for the time everyone spent. Jason Posnick, thank you. Grateful for everyone who tuned in as well. And what I wanted to do as a thank you is give you my takeaways because I have pages of notes from this thing. And mind you, I talk to these people regularly. So I wanted to share my key takeaways from each presenter in a kind of a quick hit format video, just so you can kind of review and maybe you pick up something here that you might have missed during the event because there was a ton of stuff coming at you. So the first one, Jill Biggs from Hoboken. So Jill, much love, great presentation. I had 2 or 3 things I picked out of your presentation that really made me think a lot. One is that Jill's gonna outwork everybody else. I am glad I don't have to compete against Jill because anyone that says, hey, I'm working smarter and I'm going to outwork you, that is someone to be reckoned with. And remember, effort will beat skills in this business over time. We're all here for the long game. We're all here for freedom, and freedom's on the other side of discipline and work ethic and all this other stuff that we talk about. So really, really important there that Jill is going to outwork you. Track and measure everything, even if you're not good at it. That has changed Jill's business. I've seen it happen personally as she has grown with the tracking and measuring. So that's something we all need to be doing. You need to know what the ROI is for every lead pillar. You need to know exactly what's happening with every piece of direct mail you send, where you spend your money. Are you getting production out of your assistants and your staff? And are they helping you turn more sales and bring in more revenue? These are all basic things everyone should be doing in their business. And lastly, Jill is authentic. She's herself. And when you get comfortable in your own skin, that goes a long way in attracting the kind of people you're going to be able to help. So I loved Jill's presentation because it was very authentic. That is Jill Biggs to a T. So great stuff there. Really appreciate that. And the bonus from Jill's is they have a no asshole rule, right? So if you can't get along with somebody, if you guys aren't in sync and you're deciding to work together with someone, it's not going to end well. So really understand that before you get into a business relationship with someone. It's much harder getting out of a business relationship than it is getting into one. So that's what I got from Jill's. Lisa Chinati up in the Massachusetts, Boston area. What I got from Lisa's, which was tremendous, and that was super tactical. It's about how to get more offers accepted, right? Biggest pain point in the industry. And she had some really simple stuff. Send one PDF, not a piecemeal offer. Love that. Send a cover letter with all the details of the offer to make it easier for the listing agent, right? Don't make it difficult. Be easy to work with. That's gonna go a long way in getting offers accepted. And on top of that, the mindset hack here is probably the most important thing. Your job is not to get the person the best deal. Your job is to get them the property. And that is the goal of every agent that's working with a buyer. You have an objective. You either get the home sold when you're on the listing side or you get the buyer a house when you're on the purchase side. So I loved what Lisa shared there. Thought that was really good. And lastly, and we kind of talked about this, but just to reiterate it again, let them know you're easy to work with. Really, really critical. So loved what Lisa presented. These are all things you can implement literally with the next offer you write. So write all those down. That's an easy one. Doug Edrington from Chattanooga, Tennessee, another great friend of mine. So Doug suggested going to get a mentor and having a cadence of accountability. I had a mentor my first year in real estate full time when I was a 22-year-old idiot. John Collins, thank you for everything you've taught me. I know I've been very vocal about this. That really changed my whole career path because I was an idiot, thought I knew everything, was coming right out of college. And what I ended up doing was working with him for a year, and he got compensated, and that's all good. And I learned so much, and I'm still using it today, 20 years later in my business. So getting a mentor can go a long way into getting your career on rocket fuel and getting you down the path that you're looking to get to. Also understanding, and this is another mindset hack, that we don't live to work. We're working to have a better quality of life. And that's what discipline does for you. So I love that Doug kind of pushes his team that way and wants for everyone to have a better quality of life. Really great stuff there. Sit down and do a business plan. So obvious, yet so many people don't do it, right? Business planning is like unheard of in real estate. And if you don't have a plan and you're not prepared, all you are is prepared to fail. That's what Ben Franklin said. So I love that one. Role play, work on your skills, so important in today's market, and work the leads that people think are bad. Because most agents give up too soon, right? They have a big pond account there, and everyone's got one of these. So work the leads that people think are bad, because most agents only follow up 2.7 times. And we know that all the conversion happens after 6 attempts at follow up. So I love what he said there. Doug had a lot of great nuggets. So those were my key takeaways. Byron Lazine from the Connecticut Shoreline. So he talked about building a marketing calendar, right? And having a content calendar. 3 things I got from him. When you have a calendar, you've already done your pre-thinking, right? You don't need to think about what you're going to film. You already got a plan to do it. You just got to go implement and execute. Really, really valuable, because when you're not prepped, you go to work and you try to get ready for work for the first hour. So that's really, really critical when you have this marketing calendar. Don't go crazy. All you have to do is start with one pillar piece of content, and then you can repurpose it and multi-purpose it. So just go with one show to start, one key piece of content that you're consistent with, right? It's got to go out every week. And when that happens, then you're able to repurpose it and multi-purpose it. So great stuff, Byron. Content King, Mr. 5 a.m. And he's my personal accountability partner. So another takeaway is get an accountability partner. Karen Peters, the Sphere Queen from Wayne, New Jersey. So what I love that she does is, she goes so overboard with her sphere. And right now, that's how you beat the big brands, right? That's how you beat all this tech disruption. That's how you outmaneuver the market. So she does things that are personalized. She does things that are seasonal. She knows her audience, and she makes it about the person, not the property, not the event, not the transaction. It's all about her people and having a real relationship and connecting with them. You cannot recreate that. So do something that's going to be authentic to you, but make sure it's a personalized and seasonal, and there's a reason you're calling, and it's about the person, not the transaction. Because what's going to happen is if people want to talk about real estate when you're working your sphere, they're going to ask you. They know what you do. So when you connect and it's about the person, it's that much more authentic. Really, really critical there. Josh Rubin, New York City, Manhattan, stud, agent. He does tons and tons of stuff in New York. He is one of these agents that just is hustling and knows the market better than anybody else. So a couple things that he did. He talked about direct mail, right? So your results come from your actions. That was a major takeaway. Another great mindset shift that was there. So that was really, really good. Now, he sends things out that are not just real estate. He sends out community pieces because that's what people really want to see. And that stuff has a longer shelf life. It stays on the fridge. People go back to it and they see someone that's engaging in the community and is part of the community, not just trying to sell more houses. So really, really important there. He would rather do 10 $500,000 deals than one $5 million deal. Here is why that is important. This is something I'm a big believer in. You've got 10 raving fans instead of one. There's a lot more that can come out of those transactions. And what we know is this: the bread and butter transactions are the ones that turn faster. There's going to be more of them. There's more opportunities. It's better than like that high-end thing you're always working on, or that big deal you're always working on with all your eggs in one basket. I'm all about being consistent and scalable, and that is a big mindset shift. So I love that he said that, coming from a guy who does $1 million deals all the time. A little different down in the Pennsylvania market here where I am, and where a lot of you guys are that might be watching. So, and then also treat everyone like royalty. That's almost similar to one of our principles we have at our team, which is treat everyone like a client. When you do that, it's going to come back. You can't make assumptions. You can't make judgments about people. You've got to treat them like a client or like royalty, like Josh said. So Josh, excellent contributions. Thanks so much. Scott Compa on how to beat Zillow, right? So he's going heavy on Google. He's getting Google reviews. He is geotagging photos. He's using his Google My Business profile. And he's also putting stuff on YouTube, which is the number 2 search site that's out there. So when you look at those things and what he's doing, this is really tactical. And pivoting to Google and making sure you have reviews there, you have your Google My Business page set up, and you're posting photos is going to be really, really important. So great takeaways from Scott. JD Leonard from Long Island, he had some great things about having like an onboarding schedule and when you're getting started in the industry and knowing what's going on. And the biggest takeaway for me from his is that you got to use a calendar. You have to put everything in your calendar or it doesn't exist. So critical there. And I don't want to go into the other stuff because that's the one, if every agent did that, they would be in much better shape. So if it's not in your calendar, it doesn't exist. And then the last one, which was my presentation, I'll give you a couple key things, right? Whoever talks to the most people is going to set the most appointments. That's what's going to happen, number one. And this is coming from someone that did 90 sales a year for a decade straight. So whoever talks to the most people, sets the most appointments, and sells the most houses. You've got to work your sphere now. You've got to leverage listings, and you've got to be the knowledge broker, work on your scripts, and understand what's going on in the local market. Basic stuff, all really important, because when you're listing someone's house, that's what they expect. So again, you guys got any questions about this stuff, just reply back to this email with interested, happy to talk, help you however I can. That's my takeaways in less than 11 minutes. Thanks for checking out the event. We've got more content coming. Join the Facebook group behind the Mastermind. We're going to have regular stuff pumping out to help you with your business.